Welcome to the Excellent Life Podcast, a podcast where you are inspired, motivated, and challenged to live a life of excellence. On the show, I will cover topics like created for excellence, keys to living an excellent life, and living your very best life. My special guests will also share from their wealth of experience the principles for living an excellent life. I'm your host, Bola Mateloko, and I'm so excited to be with you today. Welcome to episode 16 of the Excellent Life Podcast. I remain your host, Bola Mateloko, and I'm super excited to be with you again today. The title for today's show is Making Excellent Choices. Very often, I hear people say things like, I really did not have a choice, or what other choice did I have? The truth is that you always have a choice. And the best choice is the excellent choice. I love the quote by John C. Maxwell that says, life is a matter of choices, and every choice you make makes you. In the play Julius Caesar, Cassius says to Brutus, men at some point are masters of their fate. The fault, dear Brutus, is not in the stars, but in ourselves. This statement implies that we as individuals are accountable for our choices and subsequently for our futures. God has given you the ability to make decisions on your own that will affect your life. You can choose thoughts, feelings, and actions to help make your life the way you desire. The power to choose is very great. And you make choices all day, every day. It is a gift of God, and like all power in the hands of man, it is subject to abuse. The Bible warns us that there is a way that appears to be right, but ends in destruction. This emphasizes the importance of the consequences of the choices you make. A choice is an act of choosing between two or more possibilities. In doing this, it is pertinent to ask yourself some questions. Firstly, what principles are informing your decision? The Apostle Paul made a profound statement in 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 12. He said, all things are lawful for me, but not all things are helpful. In this verse of scripture, he asserts that the fact that you have the power of choice does not mean that the power should be applied in making choices that are not advantageous to you. It is therefore important that in making the many choices you have to on a daily basis to apply values and principles that will result in choices that are both beneficial and advantageous to you. Secondly, do you have all the facts to help you make the right choice? When you do not have all the facts at your disposal, there is a very good chance that you will not make the right or best choice in the circumstances. The reality is that things are not always the way they seem, and so it is very important to take time to learn all the facts before going ahead to make your choice or decision. There are quite a few choices I have made in my life that in retrospect, I wish I was a tad more informed about the facts before making those decisions. Thirdly, is the pressure of time forcing you to make a permanent decision. There is a saying that haste makes waste, which means doing things quickly gives poor results. This is to say that you should take time to thoughtfully and carefully weigh your options before coming to a decision as to what to do. God created time and is in control of time. So you must resist the pressure or the temptation to make decisions and choices that are not necessarily in your best interest because of the pressure of time. Finally, what possible motives are driving your decision? Your motivation or reason for your choices is as important as the choices you make. Motivation can be very subtle, and it takes sincerity and honesty many times to admit that your motivation for certain choices you want to make is wrong. The right motivation always results in the best choices, while the wrong motivation will almost always lead to poor choices. I want to focus now specifically on 5 things you have a choice over. You have a choice as to the thoughts you allow to shape your life. Your thoughts have incredible power to shape your life and even the lives of others, because your thoughts and interpretation of circumstances directly influence your beliefs and ultimately your actions. It was Henry Ford who said, "Whether you think you can or cannot, you are right." In other words, what you think is what you get. That is how powerful your thoughts are. If you are constantly thinking about negative thoughts, then you are programming your mind and those around you to turn those thoughts into your reality. Negative thoughts are potential landmines along the pathway to being your absolute best. The reverse is also true. If you consistently and intentionally nurture positive thoughts and expectations, you will paint a picture of future success on the walls of your mind. Proverbs 4, verse 23 says, "Be careful how you think. Your life is shaped by your thoughts." Taking control of your thoughts matters, because your life is not only shaped by your thoughts, but you become what you think about. Your thoughts emanate from your mind, and your mind is one of the hardest areas to get under control and keep under control. The reality is that negative thoughts will pop up in your mind every now and then. You need to counter the negative thought with a positive thought. If you choose to dwell on the negative thought, it becomes the more predominant thought and will be the one that ultimately determines your actions or choices. One of the ways to counter negative thoughts is by affirmations. Affirmations have been found to actually fundamentally change the structure of your mind, often within just a few weeks. They help you break through your negative thoughts and patterns. Affirmations will help you transform your mind and help shape your life positively through the power of your words. In order for affirmations to work and be effective, you must be committed to saying them over and over again. The more you say them, the more the affirmations will influence your subconscious mind. Although repetition is important, you should not turn affirmations into a chore. Only say them while they inspire you and make you feel good. Number 2, the people you choose to associate with. There is a saying that evil communications corrupt good manners. Human beings are social creatures, and the relationships you have are fundamental to the quality of your life and the decisions you make. Thus, the quality of your life is based on the quality of your relationships. This is why you have to be careful of the various relationships you involve yourself in, because they can make or break you. Relationships can shape your future and the choices you make. Studies have shown that the people in your life affect how you think and feel about yourself. Over time, the way the people around you think about and respond to you will strongly influence how you see yourself and the choices you make. The fact is that there are some relationships that we have no choice over. For example, who your parents are, or your siblings for that matter. These are not the relationships that I'm talking about. You have a choice who you decide to marry, who your friends are, and other people you choose to associate with on a daily basis. It is important that the people you choose to have in your life share the same core values with you. This will ensure that your choices and actions are based on similar beliefs. Here are some red flags to look for in your choice of relationships. Number one red flag, when you have to compromise to be in the relationship. Relationships are supposed to enhance your life and not draw you back. When that is the case, it is because the other party does not have the same set of values with you. Number two red flag, when your identity is lost in the relationship, in the sense that you have lost touch with your goals, your purpose, your passion, and your aspirations. You are always afraid in the relationship and you can barely recognize yourself anymore. You no longer consider and speak about your wants and your desires, and you are constantly seeking for that person's approval. Number three red flag, when you have no peace about being in the relationship and you are not sure why. You keep having the feeling that something is not quite right, even though you can't place your finger on it. You are constantly on edge or worried about that relationship. Number four red flag, when everything seems rushed in the relationship. There is pending danger because a lot of things are swept under the carpet and major decisions are made in a hurry. Your opinions don't matter most of the time, and you just can't seem to catch your breath in the relationship because of the urgency of decision making, and this can be really draining on you. Number five red flag, when your family and your friends warn you about the dangers of that particular relationship. If the people closest to you are worried about someone you are in a relationship with, it should cause you to think twice. Most importantly, take time to pray about the close relationships in your life and ask God for guidance in that regard. The third thing you have a choice over is you have a choice how you face what life throws at you. The reality is that we may not have a choice as to the events that transpire in our lives, whether it is the breakup of a marriage, the death of a loved one, an unexpected diagnosis, or even some temporary setback. There are, however, some choices you have in those situations. You have a choice as to the perspective you bring towards facing the situation. The word perspective has a Latin root meaning look through or perceive. And so your perspective is the way you see something. You can choose to see things with a positive perspective or a negative one. Your choice or actions will then be determined by your perspective. The glasses are full is a phrase used to describe a person who is an optimist, meaning they view things hopefully or positively. The phrase, the glasses are full, often goes hand in hand with the opposite phrase, the glasses are empty. This describes someone as being a pessimist, viewing things negatively or expecting the worst. Be determined to see things in a positive perspective so you can make the most excellent choice in every situation. The other thing you have a choice over in adverse situations is the information and the people you expose yourself to during such times. It is important to surround yourself with uplifting information that would help you navigate the situation to get the best possible outcome. No matter how positive your perspective is concerning what you're going through, having people who have a negative perspective around you during difficult times can actually end up clouding your own perspective. When you see things with a positive perspective and surround yourself with the right information and the right people who give you positive reinforcement, you position yourself to make the very best choices and decisions when life throws the unexpected at you. You have a choice of the path you travel as you go through life. Figuring out how to choose the right path can be complicated, foggy, and filled with anxiety. As your responsibilities grow and more people depend on you, it becomes even more difficult. You need experience, wisdom, patience, and courage to find the correct way. Some things to take into consideration are: what does your moral foundation and faith say? Learn to trust these guides and work to strengthen them. Avoid confusing them with self-serving emotions and desires. It is important to be clear about what your values are and to follow them. Your past experiences matter a lot when trying to chart a path for your future. Ponder about the good and poor decisions you have made in the past. Take the experience from them and apply them to the current circumstances. What you learn will be valuable in making decisions that will shape your future. List the positives and negatives about the path you want to chart and determine which side is more weighted. Realize your decisions have consequences, and it's wise to scrutinize all possible outcomes. The idea is to go with the best possible chance of overall success. Acting hastily often leads to unforeseen complications and a new set of difficulties. Patience and perseverance will help you overcome difficulties and obstacles along the way. If there's no need to rush your decision, do not. Remember, the path you choose will have consequences on not only you, but everyone around you. Number 5, and most importantly, you have a choice as to the legacy you want to leave behind after you are gone. Life is about legacies, both negative and positive. However, the question you need to ask is, which legacy would you want to leave behind? The best definition I found describes legacy as not leaving something for people, it's leaving something in people. You have a story, and it is your story that defines your legacy. Whether you're a student, a parent, an entrepreneur, or employee, it's imperative to leave your footprints wherever you go. Your legacy will be measured by what you do every day, all day long. Life is made up of an endless number of choices, and your daily choices will therefore go a long way in impacting your legacy. It is important to always do your best to make the right choices as often as you can and to try and learn from the wrong ones. In the end, your legacy will reflect the choices you have made. The way you conduct yourself will make an impact on your legacy. When you act with integrity, it will be remembered. When you treat others with respect, it will be noted. When you are trustworthy, it will be recognized. And when you live by a code of conduct and your values, others will know what you truly stand for. They will admire you and realize the impact you made along the way. When you are consistent in your words and your actions, when what you say is what you do, when you live up to your promises, that behavior is memorable. When your behavior is the same in unguarded moments as it is when someone is watching, you are creating the kind of legacy that is truly excellent. As I close the show today, I want to leave you with the following choice affirmations. Number 1, you choose thoughts that make your life better. Number 2, you choose actions that make your life better. Number 3, you choose words that make your life better. Number 4, you choose words, thoughts, and actions that make the world better. Number 5, You choose the people who contribute something positive to your life. Number 6, you choose the spiritual path that will lead to your greatness. Number 7, you choose abundance over scarcity and growth over stagnation. Number 8, you choose action over procrastination and choose your dreams over your doubts. Number 9, you choose love over fear and hope over giving up. And number 10, you choose to build and leave a lasting legacy. Join me and my special guest next time for another inspiring episode of the Excellent Life Podcast. Bye for now, and God bless you. Thanks for joining me this week on the Excellent Life Podcast. I trust that you have been inspired by the show today. Make sure to follow me on Instagram at Bola Mateloko, the Excellent Life Coach. And be sure to subscribe to the show on iTunes so you never miss an episode. If you love the show, please leave a rating on iTunes so that I can continue to bring you many more life-changing episodes. Thank you for listening, and I will be with you in 2 weeks for another inspiring episode. Till then, remember, it is possible to live your very best life.